Hello and welcome to GBN Royal. I'm Karen Walker and today we're diving into the 2025 Invictus Games in Vancouver and Whistler in Canada, an event packed with royal appearances, surprise guests and maybe even a Sussex family reunion. So what's the big deal about this year's games? Well, let's get into it. Prince Harry founded the Invictus Games in 2014 after being inspired by the US Warrior Games and from his 2 tours of Afghanistan himself, serving as a soldier. Designed to support wounded, injured and sick military personnel and veterans, the Invictus Games celebrates resilience through sport. The word Invictus means unconquered, inspired by the famous poem by William Ernest Henley of the same name. And let's be real, this competition is about so much more than medals. It's about strength, recovery and proving that limits are meant to be shattered.
You've shown us the power in not defining people by assumption, or their backstory, or past pain, but rather instead on their ability, how they show up, and who they are in the present.
For the first time ever, the Invictus Games is introducing winter adaptive sports. Think alpine skiing, snowboarding and wheelchair curling alongside classic events like wheelchair rugby and sitting volleyball. Oh, and did we mention that this year's games will be held in partnership with Canada's First Nations communities? This historic collaboration highlights Indigenous reconciliation, it's claimed, a major step for both the Games and Canada. Now here's where things really get interesting. Prince Harry has invited Denmark's Prince Joachim and Princess Marie to attend. If you're thinking, wait, when did Denmark get involved? Well, you're not alone. It matters because Prince Joachim is a former military officer himself, has strong ties to veteran support as well, and this could mean more European royal backing for Harry's initiative. Also, the Danish royal family caused some controversy when Prince Joachim's children were stripped of their prince and princess titles, which they inherited at birth by the former Queen of Denmark, Margrethe. Prince Joachim and Princess Marie will arrive just in time for the closing ceremony on February the 15th. And then there's the biggest name of all, of course, Meghan Markle. According to the internet, anyway. Meghan Markle is likely to attend, although her attendance has not actually been confirmed by her team. Harry and Meghan have focused recently on their separate work, but they have in recent months appeared together on a number of occasions, most notably when they appeared on camera to show their support for emergency workers and volunteers responding to the recent devastating LA wildfires, but that did cause some controversy in itself, some accusing them of being disaster tourists. So what can we expect from this year's Invictus Games? Well, Meghan loves engaging with competitors and so does Harry, and let's be honest, these moments do go viral, or at least they tend to. Will Meghan go for a classic neutral look? She famously claimed she wore neutral colours to blend into the background in her previous life as a working royal, or will she debut a Canadian brand, something more colourful? We'll have to wait and see. Then of course there's Archie and Lilibet. Rumours are that Prince Archie, who's only 5, and Princess Lilibet, who's only 3, will make a small cameo appearance at this year's Invictus Games, but Harry and Meghan both fiercely protect their children from the cameras, so I suspect this is unlikely. But one source has hinted that Harry and Meghan want their kids to continue the Invictus legacy, so it would make sense if they did make a small appearance. Prince Harry's dedication to the Games is unwavering, and it's thought to be one of his biggest accomplishments. The 2027 Games are set for Birmingham in the United Kingdom after a fierce bidding war, so we suspect he'll return for those games then. But will Meghan? Because of course Prince Harry is still in a legal battle with the Home Office. He's appealing a High Court ruling that the Home Office was right to downgrade his security when he stood back as a working royal. And he said that he refuses to bring Meghan and his children to the UK because he feels he cannot keep them safe. Will that still be the case in 2027? We'll wait and see. And not all headlines are actually glowing, because the Sussexes are facing scrutiny over security costs, because reportedly in Canada it's the Canadian taxpayers that will have to foot some of the bill for them. And of course the age-old royal family tensions question, because King Charles and the rest of the royal family have a very busy schedule in February, and some are speculating that the Games could overshadow important royal engagements in the UK. Although I think many would point out that the Invictus Games is quite an important ceremony championing wounded veterans on their road to recovery.
Meeting the kids today, who most of them should have been in gym class, seemed pretty happy to be here instead, apart from the ones that really, really love gym. But seeing them learn about the Invictus Games has had a profound impact on me, because this is where Invictus starts to go even wider, outside of the Invictus community, into schools in Canada and hopefully around the world as well. And seeing this program today in action, you can really feel the energy, the enthusiasm, and the learning happening in this room. So there's a lot of excitement. So get ready, because we're less than 3 months away.
I think we're all excited about hosting the Invictus Games in Vancouver and in Whistler. And kids, I think you need to know that we get to live the lives that we do. We get to play in the playgrounds. We get to go to school because of the sacrifices of so many people that put themselves in harm's way. So, we can experience the freedoms that we have. And if you look at the heroes, the nameless heroes that you don't even see, but they're here today, I want you to think about them and later on give them a big high five and a big hug.
Well, I'm here at Loughborough University for the wheelchair rugby training, part of the Invictus Games, of course. 500 competitors from 25 nations will be travelling to Canada for the Invictus Games, of course, founded by Prince Harry in 2014. And I'm delighted to be joined by Jules Allen, the Team UK ambassador and a veteran himself. Jules, welcome to GB News, first of all.
Thank you.
So just explain to me how you got involved with Invictus. You served in Northern Ireland, didn't you, and you got injured?
Yeah, damaged my spine in Germany, and obviously my mental health comes from my operational tours in Northern Ireland. 2017, I was laid in Southmead Hospital in Bristol, turned the TV on, seeing the Invictus Games came on. I wasn't looking at their disabilities, but what they was achieving with disabilities, and I thought, if they could do it, why can't I? So obviously I started the process of trying to get in and selected for Team UK.
And of course you've continued your journey, because it was actually Prince Harry himself who inspired you to, following your competing, create your own club.
Yeah, I remember Prince Harry's it was either his opening ceremony or closing ceremony speak, I believe it was at Toronto or Australia, and he mentioned about taking things back into the community, try to help in the community. So what I actually did, I took that on board, and I built the first wheelchair rugby club in Somerset called the Somerset Gladiators, where we're helping veterans and obviously civilians now training together in the community, now playing in the National League. Raising about £70,000 for the equipment, and we are an official Great Britain wheelchair rugby club now, which is helping others.
Oh, that's incredible. And I'm not going to ask you to turn around because we need to hear what you're going to say, but obviously behind you we've got some training going on for Team UK wheelchair rugby. How long have they been training? And the wheelchairs have been specially adapted, haven't they?
Yeah, they've gone through their pre-selection. So probably about 10, 11 months ago, they would have gone through the selection process. So that might be the first time that some of these ladies and gentlemen have actually jumped in the rugby chairs. And then obviously they've been selected for Team UK. So then obviously each chair, can be adapted for each individual. You can get made to measure chairs as well. Obviously when you're jumping up and playing in a higher league, if you wish to, after the games. So there's some amazing players out there, and you can hear them smashing and crashing, having fun.
You certainly can. And these wheelchairs, of course, cost thousands of pounds, and it's the Royal British Legion which helps support these veterans and service personnel. Yeah,
the Royal British Legion, obviously, they bought all the equipment, for the Invictus Games. So. And then obviously people would then go on and request grants if possible, and they'd get their obviously own made to measure chairs to continue the sport even after the games.
And his friends and family, of course, their support really helps as well.
Yeah, most definitely. It's not just all about the competitors, it's about the support of the families, the children, etc. And also seeing their wives or partners or boyfriends or husbands playing an amazing sport, and at the end of it seeing a change in them and seeing them smiling.
And just finally, if there's a veteran sat at home watching this who is really struggling with their mental health or doesn't know how to get involved with something like this, what's your message to them?
Yeah, serving personnel as well as veterans, pick up the phone to the Royal British Legion or the MOD and ask for help. The hardest part is to ask for help. But once you've asked for that help, then obviously, amazing things can happen, like the Invictus Games, and be part of Team UK.
Love them or loathe them, the Sussexes are keeping the Invictus Games in the spotlight. With royal guests, history-making winter sports, and a possible Archie and Lilibet cameo, 2025 Games are already shaping up to be much-watched television. What do you think? Will the Sussex kids make an appearance? Will this be the most impactful Invictus Games yet? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching GBN Royal. Don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the notification bell for all the latest Royal updates.